Okay, right, guys. So the types of parameters in the last session. Okay, right. So in this parameter types, observe what we said here. Three types here: in type, out type, in out. Okay, na? So in out, in out. So now come to in what we said, guys. Here, this is the default parameter of your store. What it will do means to accept or store input. Understand now? Right. And the next one is called as out parameter. And this parameter especially we want to use to return a value from the procedure, or else a procedure want to return a value. So there you can use out parameter. So, and here I set some given points here. When the procedure want to return a value, then we use out. If it is no need to return, then don't use a out. So we are not using out means your procedure is never returning a value. Okay. And this is a small example to understanding in and out. And this is the combination of in and out. The single variable, it can accept and also it can return. Okay. Right. So these parameters, how to use in my programs at the time of your procedures creation. Okay. Let me see one example I will show you on this, the mechanisms to understand here. Observe. The first of all, example on. Okay. Which parameter here? In parameter. In parameter with stored procedure. So now here, observe one small example in this. Okay. So create a stored procedure to accept employee number. Okay, to accept employee number and display employee name comma salary details from EMP table. From EMP table. So here, okay, I want to create one procedure to accepting number, employee number. It need to accept and display that name and salary details from EMP. Okay. Now accepting EMP number, it means that I want to declare my parameter. Which type of parameter? Accepting means what? In or out? In. Accepting means what now? In. Okay. So one input parameter I want to declare. Okay. Based on that input parameter. Okay. EMP number. Okay, EMP number, input parameter, and based on that input number, I want to display name and salaries. So now let me come out and see, guys. Okay. Now, the first of all, call your working table. So this is my working table, guys, here. Okay. And employee numbers, name and salaries. So which number dynamically you entered. So based on that number, that name and salary I want it now. So now let me see, I'm creating one procedure object. So create or replace. Okay. The procedure. The procedure name is SP1 and here parameter EMP number. Here P is my understandable format. I'm giving P, but P underscore is mandatory, sir, means no mandatory. You can create XYZ ABC, whatever it is. Okay. But our understandable format, I'm going to taking my parameter, P representing parameter and EMP number. That means this parameter I'm declaring for which column? EMP number column, just for user friendliness, user understandable format. Okay, na? Right. And this is which type of parameter? In parameter. And after that, what is your data type? Number. And size is not necessary when you're declaring your parameters. Okay. By default, it will take it your size. So now one parameter I was declared, that's fine. After that, is or as keyword. And now I want to display name and salaries. But the name and salaries are where it is here under table. So that means first I have to go table and take name and salary columns data. And those columns again I want to store into variables. And those variables I want to print on my screen. Yes or no? This is the process of printing data. So that's why what I want to do, I want to declare my variables. Here V stands for variables. So first one is what now? Varchar of some size. Second one is salary of number. Okay, the two variables, how many you wanted, that many variables you can declare. After that, I started here the begin statement. Under begin, what I want to do, as per the given parameter employee number, the person name and salary I want to retrieve from your table and store into variables. And now tell me, in PLSQL language, when we want to retrieve data from table, what is the syntax? Select a star. Select into. Again, forgot it. I said it's a common operation in PLSQL. Okay. Every time we are using select a into. Select which columns you want it. Name and sal. And these columns values where you want to save. VE name and VSAL. These columns are you taking from which table? EMP table. And what condition basis? EMP number. EMP number where I'm saving? Parameter. What is my parameter? P underscore EMP number. Understand na? So whatever you enter parameter EMP number, that will be saved under in parameter. In parameter where I substituted, where condition I substituted. Okay, right. So now, okay. After that, printer. How to print? Dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of printing your variables. First variable is what now? V name concatenation comma V underscore sal. And after that, end and execute your procedure. The procedure successfully created, guys. After created this procedure, and what I said, this procedure, whenever user want to call, I want to call this procedure. There are two syntaxes we have. One is execute command. One is anonymous block. So first execute command you can see. So execute my procedure name. What is the procedure name? SP1 of values. So now we are carefully observe in this procedure, how many parameters we declared? Only one parameter. Which type? In type. So that means here, whenever you want to call this procedure, the procedures can be called based on your number of parameters. So here, how many number of parameters are there in the procedure? Same number of values must be passed. So at the time of calling a procedure, the procedure, how I can call it means it's depending on your parameters. Suppose your procedure is having 100 parameters, you should be send 100 values. Then only procedures can be called. Otherwise, procedure never call. Okay. Suppose your procedure is having 3 arguments or 3 parameters, then you send how many values? 3 values. So number of arguments of a procedure, number of values must be same. Then only procedures can be called. If you have a procedure, 2 arguments, and you're sending 1 value, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Understand? Na? So now here, how many here? Okay. So 7788 I was given now. Then what it was happen, I said, this is value. The value input by who? User. I'm the programmer. So the programmer given this number. At what time? Executing time. What I'm executing? Procedure. So that's why what we said in the last class. Procedures are advantage what now? Pre-compilation blocks. So once a procedure object is created, on some query, on some code that already saved. And the code and query will never go to again compilation. Directly what I'm doing, execute command I'm using. This is the confidently said to anyone. Procedures are directly executed. It doesn't go to again compilations. Okay, now? So that's why it is called as what? Pre-compiled blocks we called. Already compiled. When it is compiled? At the time of creation. At the time of procedure creation, in this level only, your compilation part was done. Okay, and so now here, okay, so execute procedure name, passing value. So whatever the value was given by user or programmer, this value will be go to save under which parameter? In parameter. That means p underscore emp number, which type of parameter? In parameter. In parameter, what we said yesterday, what purpose we have to declare in parameters? Storing purpose. Storing purpose. What we want to store? Input values. Input values, who will give it? User is give it. When he was give it? Execution time he was give it. That's called a dynamic level. That's called what? Dynamic level. So at my execution of the procedure, whatever the value was sent by user, this is called input value. And this input values are saved under which parameters? Input parameters. Okay, here input parameters are declared. So that means p underscore emp number in this parameter, which number is there? Which number is there? 7788. So that parameter, where are you substituted? In my where condition. So that means in place of p underscore emp number, can I say it's a 7788? Yes. Now select command execute. Select ename sal. These two columns, are you retrieving from which table? EMP based on which condition? 7788. So this 7788 employee name, employee salary, these two details are I'm retrieving from my table and storing into where? Variables. Storing into where? Variables. And those variables finally I'm going to print on my screen. Okay, let me see to execute now. So Scott and 3000 printed. So this is what the procedure how to call. And later, suppose what I said, exec sp1, and you can send 7788 and to execute, same thing is going to be happen. That's why I can use shortcut exec, otherwise execute. Anyone you can use. And one more syntax I was given, that's called anonymous block. So anonymous block, execution block here, and here I want to send sp1 procedure name. I'm sending value 7788. Okay, and this block should be end and re-execute your block. Okay, now, so this is what your anonymous types. So, but most which one we are going to be using means execute. This one we are using in real time. Where is most recommended statement is what now? Execute. Okay, now, so this should be used and don't apply for anonymous blocks. Okay, right. So this is one small program how to create a procedure. But can you tell me procedure is created with what parameters? In only. But can you tell me in this procedure, are you declared any out parameter? No, it's completely pure in parameter. Right down below. Right now. Okay, right. So this is in execution process. When you use in operator, okay, sorry, in parameter, what you want to check means that you are in procedure how many in parameters and are you passing to your procedure how many values. This should be the most important point to consider in this in category. Okay, now, and directly you can send and come back. But next one more mechanism is there. Suppose in this case, okay, so and before that, so whatever we created this procedure, okay, the procedure block, I said to you, these procedures are called as what now? Subblocks we called. That means this procedure and this block is having the name SP1. So we said anonymous blocks are having no name. When you write anonymous block program, directly declaring execution block, exception block. So here, when I was created my subblock object, every block object should have some name. So what is the name for this object? SP1. So that is called a named blocks we called. Okay, subblocks are called as a named block because every subblock object should be created with the name. Without the name, you can't create. So this is my block name. And what we said, under this subblock, whatever you written the code, that every code will be permanently saved in your database memory. Okay, now? And now, and once you save the database memory and this code, that means this procedure, you can call into anywhere like this. This is called a reusability of your procedure we are calling. The procedure is calling wherever you want it. Okay, now let me see. But how this procedure, we said here procedures are, that means subblocks are directly saved under database automatically without user interaction. So now those procedures are saved or not. If it is there, if it is saved, how I can see my procedures. Okay, now below write down. Take a note. What is a note? So to view all subblock objects, okay, like stored procedures, stored functions, and what next? Package, and what next? Trigger. Okay, these are called as subblock objects. So to view all subblock objects, okay, in Oracle database, then we use a data dictionary. Then we use a data dictionary is user underscore objects. User underscore objects. So the same data dictionary for any object you can see it. Either procedures you can see, functions you can see, packages you can see, and triggers also you can see it. Okay, now, right. So now here observe. So now if you want to see this, I have to use a desk and user underscore objects. Okay, now let me come. So we created the procedure successfully here in our database now. That's fine. And now come back to your okay, come back to here. So I'm passing now desk and user underscore objects. So when I send it here, can you see so many columns are there in this? But my columns, what we want to require for object name and object type. Okay, because 4 types: procedure, function, package, trigger. So which object you want to view? You want to see procedures, then use the object type is equals to procedure. You want to see function, then object type is equals to functions. If you want to see package, then object type is equals to package. If you want to see trigger, then object type is equals to trigger. So which type of object are you given there? Those objects will be showing us. Okay. Now, for example, here observe. I want to see which objects here? Procedures. I want to see what now? Procedures. Then I will write here object underscore name from which data dictionary? User underscore objects. What is our condition? Where object underscore type is equals to What I want to see? Procedures. Then you have to send what now? Procedure. Suppose you want to see function. Then what we want to use? Function. If you want to see package, then you can use package. If you want to see trigger, then you can tell trigger. That means which object details and which objects you want to view, that object type should be given. Okay. So that means these all four objects. Okay. Same data dictionary. For these all four objects purpose, same data dictionary. Now in this case, I want to see what now? Procedures. Okay. Now procedure. So present, how many procedures we have? Only one I was created, and that name is what? SP1. So now tell me, now your subblocks are saved? Saved or not? Yes, saved. And this subblock, whatever that was there, SP1, suppose this subblock source code, what kind of code you written in this block, the code I want to see it. Okay. Then how I can see my subblock source code? Right down below. To view all subblocks or subblock objects like procedures, functions, packages, trigger, okay, all subblock objects, what I want to see? Source code. Okay, I want to see source code. Then we use a data dictionary. Then we use a data dictionary is, so user underscore source. So in this, okay, the first you have to see your desk and user underscore source. Okay, right. So in this data dictionary, let me see first of all, the whatever the columns we have here, check out now. So desk user underscore source. And now here observe, we have a column name and type and text. Okay, now text means your source code, whatever you written, and type. Okay, which type of object and what is object name. So let me see here. My required thing is I want to view my text information from user underscore source data dictionary. Okay, so where name is equals to what is my procedure name, sp1. So in this sp1 procedure block, what you written, the complete source code, I can see it. Can you see? Yes, we can see like this your entire the source code. So whenever you want to see in my procedure block, in particular procedure what I written, in particular function what I written, in particular package what I written, in particular trigger what I written, the source codes can be viewed like this. Okay, now write down below. Okay, right. So these are the two data dictionaries should be remembered, guys, here when you want to view your objects as well as the object source codes. Okay, now, so next one, right on. Example on out parameters. Okay, with stored procedure. Suppose in the same category, if I was use here out parameters in my procedure, so how it was going to be work? And out parameters execution process will be different. Okay, so let me see here, observe the first example. First I have to take one small general example. I will take it now. Okay, let me come and see. Suppose first of all I want to create my procedure now. So create or replace, but R replace what I said, it's optional. Okay, if you want to use you can use, otherwise no need to use, it's the optional part. So create or replace procedure sp number 2, and I'm passing here x is a in parameter and y is a out parameter. So here two I'm using here, x and y. X is which type? In type. Y is which type? Out type. So x is accepting values, y is returning value. Y is returning value. So taking values from the user, x, returning value from the procedure, y. Okay, let me see. And is or as, and after that I started my begin statement, and y is equals to, okay, x plus x I was given, and now I need to end this. So it's a very small program I'm discussing here because to understand mechanism. So now y is equals to x plus x. So now you carefully observe. Okay, fine. The procedure successfully created with one in, one out parameter. But when I was call this procedure, when I want to call this procedure, when this procedure is having your out parameters, execute sp number 2. And now tell me guys here, if I want to call this procedure sp2, how many values I need to send? Only one value or two values? Only one. Why, sir? Because why I want to send only one value means we have only one in parameter. And y is which type? That was returning output to me. Yes or no? Y is a output purpose. X is a accepting purpose. So that means here how many values user want to send? Only one input value, because one parameter, that's why one input value. And input value who was returned, so who was given? User. So I'm giving now. For example 10. Okay, that's enough. Yes or no? My procedure, in procedure, how many in parameters are there? So based on that in parameters, that many values only user can pass. That is my responsibility as a programmer. But why responsibility is what now? After sending value by user, that value will take by your procedure and doing some operation x plus x, 10 plus 10. The 10 plus 10, how much? 20 was saved into y. And y is which type? Return type. Return type means the y value returned to user as an output. Okay, yes. So let me see. My responsibility is complete here, and I just go to execute now. But it never accepted to me and saying that you have some problem. What is the problem here? Wrong number or types of arguments in calling to SP2. That means, it means what simply you want to understand. Are you calling your SP2 procedure with the wrong number of arguments, with the wrong number of values? Okay, now. So why? Because my procedure is having how many arguments? 2 arguments. Are you passing how many values? 1 value. But what I said in the yesterday in last program, number of parameters, number of values must be same. Then only procedures can be called. Otherwise, we cannot. But your problem is what now? If y also, if it is in parameter, then okay, 10 comma 20 I'm passing here. Then nothing problem, because both are in parameters. So in parameters values I want to send. That's my responsibility. So 10 comma 20 I'm sending and procedure successfully calling. But here in my procedure, we have only one in parameter. Y is not a in. Y is what? Out. So can you tell me output parameter value user can send? We are sending? No. Who want to return? Your procedure want to return, because we are writing program, you are sending input value, but output value written by system. Yes or no? So input value I am sending, output value also I am sending. Then what is the use of program? Is there any use of program? You are the person sending input value and you are the person sending output value. Then what system will do? The complete work is done by you. Then what system will do? And why you are writing this program? There is no use of this program to inserting my values, to output values also I am inserting. Okay, now? So that's what. So that means when your procedures having, or else in the procedures, if you are using out parameters, then the mechanism is what now? You can't call your procedures directly. This is not the way. So directly you can't call the procedure. And this is not an execution plan of your procedure when your procedures are having out parameters. Then how we can overcome, sir? Okay, here carefully observe. 10 I was given, right? This 10 as usual, it will be go and save under X in parameter. This X I was given in my procedure body as an operation X plus X. That means what it will take, guys, here? 10 plus 10. Carefully observe. 10 plus 10. How much? 20. The 20 will save into where? Y. But Y is, in my procedure, Y is which type? Out type. Out means what I said? Immediately this should be written. Immediately this should be written. Yes or no? Yes. Written. So here the point is, the output value storing under Y, and Y is a out type. Out means return type. So that means whatever the result was there 20, the 20 immediately throwing your Y. It is not keeping, it is throwing. So throwing to whom? User. But whatever the Y output parameter is throwing a value, that value I need to keep into somewhere. First of all, where I want to keep? Somewhere. Okay. So 10 plus 10 is equals to 20. The 20 will save under y. Y is out. Immediately y, what it will do? The 20 value is going to throwing outside. But whatever the value was throwing by y through outside, that value first I need to keep into another variable. So whatever it was throwing here, that I want to catch and keep into somewhere. After that, that variable I need to print. Then only I can get my output. I can see my output. Otherwise, you cannot see the output. Now, in this case, what happened? It was not accepting y because whatever the value was throwing by y, the throwing value where you want to save. It isn't accepting. Okay, where you want to save means that variable I'm not declaring. That's the one thing. Next one is what now? Your procedure is having two types of parameters. And compulsory, two values should be sent. But in the two parameters, one in and one out. In place value, out place variable. Another variable we need to create and send in place of y. Then what happened? That y value, whatever the y throwing here, the throwing value I'm storing into another variable. And that variable I'm going to print. Okay. So that means what I want to do, sir, in this all the things. Okay, let me see practically. We will discuss. So first of all, take this example. And it was showing some error message. Okay, right. So below write down some note point here. To overcome the above problem. Okay, we should follow the following. We should follow the following 3 steps mechanism. The following 3 steps mechanism. Okay, 3 steps mechanism. Okay. Now carefully observe. Step number 1. The first what I want to do, I want to declare referenced or else bind variable or variables for out parameter or meters. This is my first step. So first, when we have out parameters in our procedure, what we need to do first? First, we need to go for declare one referenced variable or binding variable also we can say, because that variable we bind with another variable. So referenced or binding variable first should be declared. But these referenced variables, are you declaring for which parameters? Only out parameters, not in parameter, because in parameter purpose I don't want it. It's directly save our value. Yes or no? But out parameter purpose only, we need a one referenced or bind variable should be created. Suppose in your procedure, there are more than one out parameters are there. That means 2, 3, 4 are there. There are how many number of out parameters are there? That many referenced variables are created first of all. Okay. Now, so how we can create, sir? The syntax will be like this. So what is the syntax here? Variable IABLE is called as a optional, and here referenced or a shortcut I'm writing referenced or bind variable name and give it your data type and size is optional. So this is my first step. After declaration of your referenced variable for your out parameter, then what second step we need to do? Second step, what I want to do? To add a referenced or bind variables to a stored procedure. Okay, to a stored procedure. So how we can add it? So this is my syntax, guys, here. So the syntax, what it is here? Procedure, how to call? Execute procedure name of the first you have to send your input values. How many are there? That every input value can send. After that, you add your referenced variable. But this referenced variable, whenever you want to add to my procedure, I should be bind. Your bind symbol is what now? Colon. So binding referenced or binding variable name. Variable name. Okay, comma and so on. Okay, and should be whenever you want to add this reference or bind variable, compulsory what should be used, guys, here? Colon. Okay, now it should be compulsory. Then only your variable should be binding with the out parameter. Otherwise, it's not bind. Okay, right. And the next one, step number 3. What is our step number 3, guys, here? After adding that, then we need to print referenced or bind variables. The step number 3, I need to print. So what is my print statement here? Here my print statement is print and give referenced or binding variable name. Okay, so these are the 3 steps mechanism should be followed when your procedures are having out parameters. Okay, right. So completed. Then you can see. So execution process of outer parameters. So based on the above three steps, how to write my program here, observe. So this is your program, already procedure successfully created, but this procedure we can't directly call. When you calling, some error was get out. Okay, that means some error was, we got it up. So now we can observe. The first what we want to do, in this procedure, how many out parameters are there here? One. So that means how many referenced variables? Only one. So the referenced variable is, for example, A. The referenced variable, for example, A. And it's which type? Number type. Size is optional. Next one is referenced variable declared here. This declaration of referenced variable, I need to, second step. What is my second step? Add. To whom? To stored procedure. Okay, now? How to call stored procedure? Execute, exe or execute. What is my procedure name? sp2 of first value. In this sp2 procedure, how many input values are there? 1. So input value, I'm passing 10. And next value is what now? Next parameter, out parameter. So in place of out parameter, what I need to send it means that I want to send my referenced variable which you created. So then this was, I need to add here, bind here. Bind means adding. So now how we can bind with the help of colon? Compulsory. If you're not using directly giving A, it's not binding. You should be give it here, bind A. That's over. So now tell me, now how your system will treat it here? User sending how many values? 2 values, 10 and A. So user sending 2 values. Your procedure is having how many values? 2 values. So number of parameters in procedure, number of values to my procedure, both are matching. Number of parameters how many? 2. Number of values how many? 2. So now matching now? Yes, then the procedure can be called. Successfully called. After calling, then here observe, whatever A value, here 10 means what now? X value. X value save here, that was substituted here. Then 10 plus 10, where it will be saved? Y. Y is which type? Return type. That return value, where are you saved? Under A. Where are you saved return value? Under A referenced variable. And now tell me, where is your result? 10 plus 10, 20 is there now? The result where is now? A. So be confident here, programs. Y place I was taking A. Y is equals to how much? 20. The 20 is what type? Return type. The Y is returning. The returning value where I'm saving under? A. Yes or no? Then what I need to print? I need to print Y, I need to print A now. Yes. Now I need to print A. Got it? Yes. This is the execution process of your out parameters. So in parameter is directly, but out parameters directly we cannot call. That's why we need to follow some referenced variables, create and add and print out. Okay. So let me see finally what it was happened, sir. Means here simple. Observe. Here my operation is Y is equals to X plus X. Actually, this is I was given in my procedure body. Yes or no? Now I was sending this 2 value. 10 whatever we send, this 10 will go to save under where? X. And A will be taking in the position of Y. That means next level internal process I'm telling. In Y place, what it was there? A. Okay. So A was there. So A is equals to X plus how much? 10 plus 10. So now what happened? A is equals to 10 plus 10 what? 20. The 20 So now your A value, that is 20 value, where it is now under A reference variable. This reference variable is a reference for what? Y. So that's why your output is under A, and that A was what I did? Printed. Understand now? So how we can say 10 is substituted in place of X, A will be taking place in place of Y. Okay. And then your value directly under A. That's why A need to print. We can't print a Y. Y is only written, but we need to print what? A. Right down below. So these are the 3 steps mechanism for out parameters, guys. Okay now? So now finally the execution process as per the above steps you can take like this. Okay, right. So now we will see one more example on this. Observe and write down. So create a stored procedure to accept employee number as a in parameter, and return that employee, provident fund, comma, okay, professional tax, provident fund, comma, professional tax at 5%, comma, 10% on basic salary of employee by using outer parameters. Okay, right. Question understand here. Now I want to create procedure to accept employee number as a in parameter, and what I need to return? Provident fund, professional tax. At what percentages? 5 comma 10. That means provident fund of employee how much? 5%. Professional tax how much? 10%. So on is basic salary. And by using what? Out parameters. And now tell me, in this example, how many in parameters and how many out parameters? Question read here, clearly mentioned now. Input how many? 1. Output 2. What are those? PF and PT. Professional tax purpose 1 out. Provident fund purpose 1 out. And in parameters only 1. Okay now? So now let me come back and see. So first of all, I need to do some calculation here. What is that? I want to call my table now. Suppose I'm calling my table, select a star from EMP. So in this EMP table, suppose if I was enter my employee number 7788, for example. So user enter, okay, I'm saying here enter salary. So what is this employee basic salary? Okay, enter number now. Enter number. So he was entered 7788. He was entered. So before you want to calculate the provident fund and professional tax of this employee, first this employee, what I need? Basic salary. If I know the basic salary of an employee, then I can find out the professional tax and provident fund. But without provident, that means without basic salary, can we find out provident fund and professional tax? No. The first I want to need what now? Basic salary. How much? First I want to know. Suppose, okay, this employee basic salary, okay, B salary, okay, is for example 3,000 rupees. So that first I need to find out this employee basic salary how much? 3,000. Then once I know the basic salary of this particular person, 7788, based on that basic salary, what I need to calculate now? PF. So PF, how to calculate? PF is equals to basic salary, which percentage? 5% into 5 by 100. Yes. So what is your PF? Basic salary, how much this person? 3,000 into 5 by 100. Because yeah, the percentage is what now? 5%. Okay now? Then how much it is? 150 rupees. So 150 rupees is what now? Provident fund for this employee. Okay now? Right. Same pattern I want to calculate what now? Professional tax. So professional tax also if I want to calculate, the first I need a basic salary. The basic salary how much here? 3,000 with how much percentage? 10% was giving by year, giving by company or whatever it is. Okay. Now 3,000 into 10 by 100. Then what is his professional tax? 300 rupees. This is actually calculation part of how to calculate PF and PT of a particular employee in a company. Okay. Now the base say based on this calculation, now I need to prepare what now? One procedure. Okay. Now permanently I'm creating this procedure for calculation of PF and PT. Let me come. So how I want to do this? So first you have to create or replace procedure SP number 3. Yeah, careful observe. How many in? One in. That was EMP number in type is number data type. How many out? 2. One out for professional provident fund purpose, 1 out parameter number. Professional tax purpose, 1 out parameter number. So clear now? Now tell me in this procedure, how many number of out parameters? Single or more than 1? More than 1 we have. Okay, right. After that, so now you have to take is or as. And what I said, before calculation of your provident fund and professional tax, first what I need to find out? Basic salary. For the basic salary storage purpose, one variable I'm taking B salary. Okay now? Yes, one variable.
After that, begin. But employee basic salary, where it is in your EMP table, which column? Salary column. So from here, I want to take. Now tell me, if I want to retrieve data from table by using PLSQL, what is the syntax? Select into statement. Okay. Select what I want to take, salary, which I was saved under which variable? B salary variable. From which table? EMP table. Where which condition basis? EMP number is equals to parameter EMP number. So which employee number user was given? That employee basic salary, how much in my table? Retrieve from table, store into variable. Clear now? After storing into variable, now I need to calculate. What is the calculation? PF already declared. PF is equals to, what do you say? V underscore basic salary into how much percentage? 5. So can I give it 0.05? Is it correct? 5% means 0.05. Yes or no? Okay. Right. Next one, what? PT. PT is equals to basic salary into how much percentage? 10. Can I say 0.1? Yes, the 10%. And finally, I just end and execute. So a procedure successfully created. But this procedure, when we want to call, how to call? Again, 3 steps mechanism. What is the first step? Declaration of referenced variables for out parameters. Second one, adding of referenced variables to procedure. Third step, printing those referenced variables. Understand now? So now here, I want to declare how many referenced variables in this program? 2, because I have a 2 out parameters. Okay now? Right. So how to declare? Variable referenced by PF. R means referenced variable. So the data type is number. Variable referenced of PT. The data type number. So 2 referenced variables I declared. After that, what we need to add? These 2 I want to add to which procedure? SP3 procedure. SP3 of, what is my first parameter here? In parameter. In parameter value 7788, comma, then bind of referenced PF, comma, bind of referenced PT. Yes. Now you added up. Yes. And now tell me, your procedure, I'm calling this procedure with the how many values? 3 values. Your procedure having how many arguments? 3 arguments. So 3 is equals to 3. Matching? Yes, then matching. And it was called to us. And after calling this, what we want to do? Print referenced variable of PF space print referenced variable of PT and execute now. So PF 150, PT 300. Got it? Yes. So this is when you have a more than 1 out parameters. Okay now? Right now. So this is your calculation. I just gave it here. And below, I'm passing here your program. Write this program. Okay. Okay. This is out parameters. Okay. Working nature in your procedures. And the next one takes idea. Example on in out in out parameters with the stored procedure. So if I'm using in out in procedure, then what is the mechanism for this in out parameter? Okay. One direct example, observe. For example, I'm going to create it here one procedure. So create or replace. Okay. And I'm sending here the procedure and procedure name SP number 4. So here one, okay, the parameter I'm giving X and it is in and also out, and the data type is number type. And after that is or as, okay, and I'm giving begin, and I'm giving this is only outer, so x is equals to x into x into x. Okay, this is out and this is in, and finally end to execute. So the procedure successfully executed here. That's fine. But how this x in out parameter we need to call? If I want to go for directly, suppose SP number 4 and giving some value 10, if I executed, it doesn't accept. So directly can't call. Because of reason, expression 10 cannot be used as an assignment target. Because x is not only assigned. Assign means in. X is not only in, is also out. So that's why we can't directly send the value like this. Okay, now, but here number of parameters, number of values, both are same. But x is which type again? Out also. So this is the variable which is accepting and returning. The both natures are having by this variable. So that's why I want to, if you are sending 10 means this is what assigning input value. Then what about output value? That also we need to return now. Yes, with the same variable now. Yes. So that's why here we can't go for this. Then what we want to do? So same 3 steps I need to follow, but along with that, one additional step I need to add here. Okay. For additional step, what purpose? Assigning purpose. Okay. Right. Below write down. So what I want to do, careful observe. So first you have to declare variable, referenced variable. So I'm taking reference variable R. Which type? Number. Okay. This referenced variable we're declaring for which nature? In nature purpose or out nature purpose? Out nature. So x is out also. So one out nature purpose, one referenced variable declared. Okay. After that, what I want to do, to this referenced variable R, I need to assign some value. Because of reason, x is also in. In means what now? Values are acceptance. So that's why to this referenced bind variable R is equals to, I need to assign some value first. So assigning value is over. After assigning, that value will go to perform what? Operation. X into X into X. So here 10 I was given. 10 into 10 into 10. 1000. Oh my God. So, okay. Then what I want to do, this referenced bind variable, again I need to add to my procedure. So execute SP number 4 of, I want to adding. Okay, now we can see. Now the procedure, whatever we are passing here, this value, this is out parameter and this is in also. That means this is also having 2 natures. One is in nature. This is called in nature, accepting values. And out nature also having, because of reason is a referenced variable. This is. So this referenced variable is nature is out. Assigning value is in. So that means this R is having both natures. Accepting value, returning value. Both natures are having. So that nature I'm adding to my procedure. So now your SP4 procedure, whatever the parameter was there, X, this is which type? In out type, the same nature of referenced variable I passed here. Same nature na? In nature, out nature. So now this is out nature, this is in nature. Both are having by who? R. Just like a X. How X is in and out, same your R also in and out now. And now we added. Successfully adding to procedure. Then after what we want to do? Print R. So now 1000 we got it. So this is what now when you have a in-out parameters, if you declare in the procedure, this is the execution process of your procedure. So different levels. In directly, very simple. In parameters, very simple. Directly execute procedure name, value passing. Out, different mechanism. In out, different mechanisms. Okay now? Write down below. and for this output. So here only step by step I will give it. Okay, na? Step 1, declared reference or bind variable. Okay, this is my first step. And syntax I'm not writing because syntax already you know. That example where what I given R is a number. Step number 2, here extra step. What is extra step? Assign. So assigning a value to which one? Referenced or bind variable. We need to assign. So assigning example what now? Execute colon R is equals to 10. This is assignment, value assigning. Step number 3, what next? Adding a referenced or bind variables to whom? To stored procedure. Okay, the syntax already know. What is the syntax? Execute procedure name sp number 4 of what is my bind variable? Reference R. And step number 4, so what is that? Print reference or bind variable. Okay, I just want to print now. So now here example, what is direct printing? Print of a R. Clear na? So here additionally what it is here, when you comparing to out parameter, additional step is what? Additional step is what now here? With your out parameter, without in out parameter, what is the additional step? Assigning is a additional step. Declaration as usual. Next, adding as usual. Printing as usual. But what extra we added here? Assigning. Because of reason, this is a variable which is also in. In means what? Values are accepted. That who was sending that value? User. 10. The 10 value is going to be X. Right now. So if you is a new step now, if you want to take syntax, having any confusion, take the syntax. Execute. Here what I said, a reference or bind variable name assignment operator of value. This is new step. Okay, now the new step syntax was take. Now, which one is you feel like SQL is easier, PLSQL is easier? SQL is easier. But when you go to real time, once you get some experience on database now, then later you will change your decision. Then you feel like PLSQL is easy, sir, compared to SQL. But your learners now, so you feel like this SQL is easy. But when you're working, after working 6 months or 1 year on database, then you can understand PLSQL is how much easy compared to SQL. Okay, but every learner, SQL is easy. Once you get experience now, then you will be changing your decision. Then you're saying that PLSQL is easy, sir. Okay, that you can in future you will be feel like this. Okay, so finally, this stored procedure you need to drop. Then you have a drop syntax also. Syntax to drop a stored procedure. So my syntax was drop procedure, and I want to give my procedure name and example drop procedure, suppose SP1. Okay, right. So this is what now the procedure. Okay, dropping syntax clear. And this is one of subblock object, how to create a procedures. So what is procedure, why we need procedure, what is the advantage of procedure, how to create a procedure, how to call a procedures, and in procedure again different types of mechanism, in mechanism, out mechanism, in out mechanism, and finally dropping your procedures. Okay now, right. And tomorrow we will go for the next object. The object is